Hello world, this is Computer Heat, and today I've got a special guest caster. It's Romeo. Romeo, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm great. It's a bright, fresh, early morning here in beautiful Copenhagen, Denmark, but it's like 2 o'clock in the morning where you are.
That's correct.
So without further ado, we're both paused at 5 seconds, and we'll kick this off before you totally run out of gas. And we'll unpause in 3, 2, 1, go. And yeah, so today we got a game between MrYippeeKiYay as the Soviets and Brian, the Y, playing as Wehrmacht. So man, I am excited to see like the VCO2 factions. And unsurprisingly, we got Brian just going for tier 1 and getting some grenadiers immediately.
Over here on the left side, looks like he's going with a special rifle command, one conscript, and no. I don't know if he's going to get a second conscript. Looks like he's not, so probably going to go with penals,
Oh
if I had to
man,
guess.
oh man. I anytime there are penals in a game, I'm happy like automatically. Brian's doing a totally normal thing of getting a second grenadier squad right now, so MrYippeeKiYay, I see him causing his combat engineers to run around spastically at his cutoff point, but looks like they're going to go off to the north.
We do see penals coming in from MrYippeeKiYay, and I think penals are definitely making a comeback ever since the latest big patch that made a lot of changes to infantry combat. Penals have been a lot more popular, I think.
Hmm. But, before we go on more about that, can you tell me what commanders MrYippeeKiYay's got available to him?
He's got Guard Motor, which is the double T-3485 commander. He's got Soviet Shock Army, which is the Howitzer and Sturmovik, and he has Shock Rifle, which is the IS-2 commander.
Ah, yes, that's always, I don't know, shock rifle has always been, like, or shock rifle frontline tactics has always been, like, my favorite one to use in Soviet 1v1s. I just think it's tons of fun. But we have a machine gun coming out third for Brian, and yes, penal battalions moving up to the middle. I feel like you were saying before, that people have been getting lots more penal battalions, and sometimes just going for straight up combat engineer spam, rather than getting more conscripts, like, at the
Oh
beginning of the
yeah,
game. But,
absolutely. I had just cast a game where Run to the Sun was using his, or not Run to the Sun, Natural actually was using it for combat engineer start, but I believe Run to the Sun is the one making that really popular these days.
yeah, I was playing well, I was playing a 2v2 the other day, and my teammate, did that as well. And I was talking to him on the microphone. I'm like, what the hell are you doing making all these combat engineers? Like, I swear they're effective. And we ended up
Yeah,
winning,
they
so
really
I
are.
can't complain.
They're almost like conscripts now. They're like super cheap, pretty okay infantry.
Well, they're kind
You
of
trade
better
the
than
ability for.
conscripts in a way, because conscripts now have a received accuracy penalty.
Yeah, I mean, conscripts are still 6 men, so they're more durable, and they have the utility of merge and AT grenades, but combat engineers can plant mines and get flamethrowers, so it's kind of interesting. And also, a lot of people like to throw in a scout car, and if you have 4 combat engineers, you just have so much ability to repair. And if you can keep them alive into the late game, that also helps with your heavy tanks.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like as either of the vanilla factions, you always end up getting to a certain point where you need to have 2 worker units just to keep your tanks in
Oh yeah,
tip-top shape.
absolutely.
I mean, particularly if you're playing against the new factions that have so much ability to repair. Oh
Over
yeah,
Commando West especially. Well, actually, yeah, you're right. Americans and Over Commando just ridiculous repair potential in both of those factions compared to the originals.
well, these penal battalions are certainly going to lose this fight if they stick in the church in the middle. Not really sure why MrYippeeKiYay doesn't just pop them out and kind of hide them off to one side and wait for Brian to get closer. As
Yeah,
it
he's
is, he's
definitely
just
getting
taking double
bled.
damage.
Definitely.
So Brian's got 3 grenadiers and a machine gun, and he's about to finish teching up to battle phase 1, which I will just refer to as tier 2, as I always do.
Flamethrower just completed on the combat engineers up here in the scout car. He's probably, it looks like he's thinking about trying to go in on that MG.
Huh. Yeah, I could harass that, but Oh, some of the
Well, now I
grenadiers are
don't know
pretty
what he's
badly
doing.
damaged, or one of the squads is pretty badly damaged. You can get some pretty sick flame crits with that. We just had a commander pick, the Jaeger Infantry, for Brian, which is not something I've seen for a really long time.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. I guess we'll see how that works out for him.
Oh!
Still no doctrine choice from the Soviets.
Scout car goes down, which is a nice early win. He got to, get that thing out of the way before it deals too much damage, becomes too much of a headache.
That was a nice play. I hope he doesn't get squad wiped on the retreat, though.
Oh.
From a nasty flame burst. Looks like they're pretty spread out, actually, so they'll be fine.
Yep, looks like they make it out without accruing any losses.
He needs to pay attention to his penals in the middle, too.
Yeah, looks like he's trying to set up a flank, but unless he has Molotovs, I don't really see this working. Does he have Molotovs? Flamers are also coming in from the top, but
he has
Brian
no
has managed to...
HQ upgrades at the moment. That is a nice flank from his flamethrower, though, coming around from the right side.
that machine gun that's retreating right now, or attempting to retreat, is upgrading with ambush camouflage.
Okay.
Which, if your opponent is getting snipers, is actually a pretty like old school way to kill snipers. Just to hide a machine gun somewhere with ambush camo, and then just insta-give the snipers as they come up on you. Ooh,
Some
wow!
engagement happening in the south, but looks like those conscripts could go down.
Yeah, they're
he doesn't pay attention. Oh, he noticed just in time. I'm not sure they're gonna get away though.
I give it even money. Oh, wrong again. Let's see. So we have a first unit out of tier 2 from Brian. He's gotten himself a squad of Panzer Grenadiers, and they are... where the hell are they? Ah, they're just coming onto the map right now. But,
MrYippeeKiYay is actually taking sideways into a support weapon camp in Naya, so it looks like he's going to be relying on call-in tanks, which is nothing surprising.
Interesting. So I'm gonna guess he's not gonna go Soviet Shock Army if he's doing this. Maybe he'll go for something like the IS-2 or KV-8 possibly. If he goes for shock rifle frontline tactics. What was the other one that he had?
Guard motor with the T-3485s.
Ah, okay, always a popular choice.
Yeah, I think it's a toss-up between those two. He's still at 2 command points, so he could start calling in elite infantry really at any time. I guess he just hasn't chosen which one he wants. His manpower is very low right now, so he's not really in a position to call anything in. He's actually producing a mortar. He's already got a maximum hitting the field now.
He might... yeah. Brian is investing really, really heavily in infantry right now. He's got the one squad of Panzer Grenadiers. He's getting a second squad of Panzer Grenadiers. He's got machine gun, 3 Grenadiers, and Pioneers. And has just lost his fuel point, so he's hurting pretty badly for territory at the moment.
Yeah, Soviet has great map control, and he's able to take advantage of that to lay some really nice mines. He's got one on the strategic point up here to the left of the fuel point. He's also got a combat engineer squad over on the very northmost strategic point. I wouldn't be surprised to see another mine getting laid up there. He hasn't done so yet.
He doesn't have a whole lot of munitions right now. Otherwise, I would hope to see some sneaky demo charges, just because, well, those are always fun to see. So
That's true, especially on this map.
Maxim may be able to suppress both of the squads of infantry, but actually Brian's quick to move them apart, and looks like the Panzer Grenadiers are going to escape around down to the south. But,
they might even catch that mortar out of position, which could be extremely bad.
Ooh, race for the house goes really badly for the Grenadiers. Now they're getting flamed as well as getting shot.
Oh.
Whoa, down to 1 man.
Barely makes it away with 1 man.
The mortar
Panzer Grenadiers do manage to, do some pretty nasty damage to that mortar.
About half of Brian's army is retaking his fuel, but it looks like some of them have realized they would be better off going into the middle. Nice use of the flamethrowers to force the Grenadiers out of the house, which will help the penal battalion stay alive a little bit longer, but they're still getting shot at by things that they can't quite reach. Does MrYippeeKiYay have healing yet?
No. In fact, he just was about to research anti-tank grenades and then he canceled it. That was weird. Maybe that was a misclick.
Well, Brian's getting a half track right now. I think actually both players are doing a decent job of reading the other one's tech. So we're not seeing like an unnecessary, overly cautious investment in AT when it won't benefit them.
Yeah, that's true. And these Panzer Grenadiers are getting satcheled in the house. Oh, jeez. Oh, he actually blew up one of his own guys, I think.
Excellent.
Panzer Grenadiers actually did really good work behind enemy lines there. I think they're very nearly vet 1, inflicted a lot of damage. Flamethrowers also being forced to retreat here.
Yeah, they were just dashing around there causing all kinds of chaos for a long time. So with this half track, I'll be curious to see if Brian decides to make a forward healing bunker. But actually now I see he's got a bunker built up in his base, so I don't think that he'll be doing that. Also with the number of things that can like 1 or 2 shot bunkers that MrYippeeKiYay has got available to him, you don't want to just have a penal battalion run up and throw a satchel charge and blast your brand new healing bunker to bits.
Looks like Brian's really hurting for munitions right now. He still has no LMGs on any of his Grenadiers, no upgrades of any kind actually on any of his units as far as I can see, except for ambush camouflage.
Yeah, this is not the easiest map to hold your munitions point, and he's been cut off from it pretty frequently. And now MrYippeeKiYay has even put up sandbags on top of the point, but he's actually about to get flanked by this by the half track, and out pops some Panzer Grenadiers, and they're gonna force these force these conscripts to retreat or die. Off they
I'm not
go.
sure that they're gonna get away. It's gonna be close.
Very close. Come on, make it around the corner, and they're safe.
I think Brian could have wiped that squad if he had made any effort to chase whatsoever.
Yeah, the Panzer Grenadiers pretty damn good at that. Ooh, nice flanking move by this combat engineer to jump up in the house. They're gonna be laying in flames all the way.
Yeah, Brian is really struggling to keep all this infantry at bay with that lone machine gun. It's just not enough.
Well, what you were saying about the munitions a minute ago, like, the command that he's picked is extremely munitions heavy. Like, it doesn't have any, anything that doesn't use a lot of munitions.
That's true.
But,
Satchel destroys that house.
yeah, so I guess he's tired of Grenadiers getting in there and shooting at his guys in the church. For the 2 squads of Panzer Grenadiers, I'm really liking this half-track play. Brian's just using it to shuttle his squads around, you know, keep them reinforced, but also... Ooh.
Oh, nasty flame crit.
Yeah, but very pretty.
I completely agree, though. A lot of people don't use the transport vehicles in this game as transport vehicles nearly enough. They're always used as assault vehicles, or clown cars, as people like to call them, and it's good to see them used more as transports and mobile reinforce points.
Yes, he's using it legitimately as a clown car, with all the endless stream of dudes popping out of the bottom. I feel like that's become kind of a shibboleth to call it a clown car with no particular reason. The machine gun's about to get caught in the hop over by this penal battalion, but they don't seem to notice, and yeah. The penal battalion's gonna need to back away or get suppressed. Will Brian move into the middle VP and take this machine gun? Looks like he's making a move for it now. He doesn't want to get unlucky and end up losing a full Grenadier squad, particularly not when they're at vet 2.
Throwing grenades in, but they're not doing all that much. He's already hurting for munitions. He can't really afford to just be popping grenades off.
No, he's gonna want to save up and get G43s and.
Oh Jesus! Penal battalion just got pinned in the road by that machine gun. He does retreat just in time, fortunately.
One thing that's always nice with penal battalions is their flamethrower doesn't just randomly explode the way all the other flamethrowers in the game can do. Actually, do you know
Which I find really strange.
It's a feature, not a bug.
Do I know of what?
Do you know if the assault engineers from the Americans, if their flamethrower can randomly explode, or is that like
all the time?
Oh, we have a squad of guards out, so I guess we're gonna see a stalling for T-34-85s. from Mr.
That's right.
YippeeKiYay.
MrYippeeKiYay just hit 7 command points, and he has 300 fuel in the bank, so he's going to be calling those. He's going to be gated by manpower, not fuel, I think, for those.
Yeah, he's already got more than enough fuel to call them in right now, but how many more CPs does he need before he can get those?
He's now at about 7 1/4, so 2.5 more.
Let's see. Guards getting up
Nice
close
grenade
and
on the
personal
stolen
with that
Maxim,
machine
yeah.
gun.
Not sure that's going to get away.
Does he have the DPs on the guards yet? Well, it looks like they're just backing away anyway, so...
He does not. He's actually a little bit hurting for munitions himself, throwing grenades around. And getting those flamethrower upgrades. He actually only has 2 flamethrowers, excuse me.
So Brian's sending his squad of minesweepers up to go start capturing the top victory point. And good of him to get those minesweepers. I mean, he smacked into one, and whence one mine, more are sure to follow. We now have tier 3 up from Brian, but looks like he's gonna save up to get himself a Panzer IV. He could get a Stug or an Ostwind immediately, but yeah, now he's got whatever he wants available to him. Oh,
that guard
man.
squad is just getting torn to shreds.
Yeah, they dropped one of their PTR. Oh no, they dropped the DP. That's terrible. And looks like we see our first squad of G43s from Brian. I'm not sure what to think of G43s after they changed them a while back. Like, I used to love them, but now they seem kind of, you know, they're okay. Especially now that he's got so many Vet 2 Grenadiers. They do lots and lots of damage, even while
For
on
their
the move.
cost, though, I think they're still nowhere near as good as the LMG upgrade.
Yeah. I've not seen or heard any in-depth analysis of. Oh man, these flamethrowers are in a great position to cause some insane crits on. Oh yeah, there go 2 guys down in some flames, and then they throw a satchel charge onto their burning bodies.
Huge waste of munitions. I'm not sure what he was hoping to accomplish there.
Man, they're just trying to give us some spectacle. So the P4 is coming out right now, and Brian, I guess, has figured out what his opponent is up to in terms of stalling for tech, stalling instead of teching, and is getting himself a pack.
YippeeKiYay is just nowhere near prepared for that Panzer IV. He does have AT grenades, but no field gun, and he's still about 1 full point away from getting his own tanks.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's just the one P4, and if he takes a bad beating from it, then he'll be able to afford them pretty quickly. He's saving up his manpower for it. Looks like he's not going to go for, looks like he's not even going to attempt to go for... Oh, something blew up. What was it?
I don't know.
Sounded like a demo charge.
Oh, it was a full Grenadier squad over on the left side. They hit a mine. Ouch.
Yeah, I think it's unlikely that YippeeKiYay is going to even try to get a Zis gun at this point.
He does have the correct building, but that would be a huge manpower expenditure when he's clearly trying to save up for those tanks.
Yeah. So it's going to be incumbent upon Brian to hit really hard as quickly as possible. Ooh, demo charge.
Satchel going out, but they... Nice micro vaulting over the wall and sending the other squad the opposite direction, getting clear of that blast.
Yeah, Brian's been doing a really great job of that this entire game. When the Maxim starts shooting at him, he splits up smartly. And... P4 has arrived. Now the
It's oddly just sort of sitting in the back though. He could definitely get in there and throw his weight around while he still has the advantage.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of a traffic jam going on over behind.
Surprised he actually doesn't dive back into the back and grab the mortar with that. There would really be nothing that could stop it. Looks like he's now sending it to do something, but he's a little late, I think. The T-3485s are getting called in now. It's a shame he didn't smash into his opponent's lines earlier.
Well, he's still got an opportunity to push him off the map, but it's going to be difficult. Particularly, he's quite limited by his munitions, so
this upcoming tank engagement could definitely go in Brian's favor if he can position that pack well and get off some good Panzerfaust. T-35s, they do circle around and catch the Panzer IV. Both shots penetrate, bringing it really low. pack is still kind of blocked by that house. That Panzer IV trying to get to safety. No Grenadier. Oh, Grenadiers are in range to go in with a Panzerfaust though, possibly damaging both of their engines. I'm not sure. Oh, he doesn't have the munitions to do enough. Oh, there they go. Oh, it collides with the ground. Wow, did you see that?
He did cause the damaged engine on the T-34-85. Oh man. I think had he pushed a little bit harder, he probably would have been able to kill the both of the vehicles. Although I don't know if he'd be able to get both his tanks out of there.
Well, both of those Grenadier squads definitely fired a Panzerfaust, but only one of them connected with its target.
Okay. I am not sure about that. I thought he only had the munitions for one, but I wasn't paying close enough attention. But in either case, those tanks are going to make it out safely, and Brian has gotten himself another pack, or he's got a new pack in production.
It's a good thing he brought that first pack to that engagement. Otherwise, he would have been screwed. Basically, it could have been GG right there. So yeah. Good purchase for sure.
Now that these T-34-85s are out, I wonder if he's regretting getting so many Panzer Grenadiers. I mean, they're good, but they still seem kind of lackluster against T-34-85s. I mean, they tend to get fire off one volley of Panzer Shreks and then get reduced down to half their men, if not just outright killed by both of the tanks together.
It really comes down to positioning and usage of buildings, but with Penals blowing up buildings left and right, it becomes harder and harder to find a good spot for them.
Have you noticed if YippeeKiYay has been doing much merging with his squads? I have not really been paying attention.
I don't think he's done it at all, no.
And nice little flank coming in on the machine gun. That backs away, although I don't think it really needed to with the Panzer Grenadier support. Now the G43 Grenadiers should put the kibosh on this attack. So map control is actually quite bad right now for Brian.
That's true, but he does hold one fuel point and one victory point, and that will that'll stall things, and that's what's really most important for him.
Yeah, I still feel like he's gonna really want to have a healthy munitions income when playing with this commander, just to get the most out of it. He's losing his fuel point right now, though he is taking back one of the victory points on the bottom.
It's also true to note that his commander selection isn't really going to give him that strong of a late game. He doesn't have Tigers on the way or anything crazy like that, so he's going to have to just make do with what he's got, I guess.
Yeah, he's getting himself another P4 right now. Ooh, T-34-85 doesn't kill any of the men on that Grenadier squad, but forces them back away. And now we've got some really low health conscript squads charging up in the middle. They could all get killed right here. That's bad luck.
One squad makes it away. Second one does get clear, barely, just in time. I think he's making a good decision going with Panzer IVs here. If you try and take to Tier 4 and get Panthers to fight like wave after wave of T-34s, I think it's pretty easy for the Soviets to outproduce you. So it's good that he's sticking with medium armor and packs.
So, Ryan is now, or he was trying to retake his fuel point, but it looks like he's given up on that. Ooh, I hear a 120mm mortar.
No, that's just a regular mortar.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's Vet 2 though, so maybe it has like a cooler noise. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the G43s, how it sounds like there's a whole bunch of snipers running around when you've got a couple squads with those. It's the added psychological effect. Yeah, that totally sounds like a 120mm
Yeah, it
mortar.
really does. I wonder if at Vet 2 it gets a different sound effect or something.
Is he using a precision strike?
No, it's not even a barrage, it's just auto firing.
Interesting. Okay.
Panzer IV is sort of throwing their weight around here in the middle, but we've got some kind of flank going on in the
oh my god,
the fuel
a base
point
rush?
With those T-34s. It could be a base rush. No, he's just trying to prevent him from capping, just trying to keep that fuel from being recaptured.
Yeah.
This is a huge push in the middle, and without tank support, that mortar's in a lot of trouble.
Yes. What do you think? MrYippeeKiYay seems like, I don't know, maybe he's saving up for some more T-34-85s?
Oh, definitely. There's no doubt in my mind. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he plans to just keep spamming those to victory.
Well,
Brian is perfectly countering that strategy, though, just getting more of his own medium armor and packs. It's going to be way too much for those tanks to punch through themselves.
in particular, if he can get some teller mines down in some of the usual choke points, and he can disable these, or at least slow down these T-30-45s. Oh no, if they move any more forward, they were going to catch those P4s in the rear. But yeah, if he could get a couple of teller mines down, he could get maybe a damaged engine or two, and his packs will make short work of those tanks.
Looks like he's considering charging those T-34s with the P4s. He has a huge advantage over them right now, with one of them being so severely wounded. He's going in deep.
Oh yes.
Nice blocking with that full health T-34 to buy a little time for the other one, but the Soviet player doesn't have any field guns or anything like that to sort of supplement his damage output.
Bad facing.
Yeah, that was a bit of a pathing hiccup right there. Oh, jeez. He does round the corner just in time, but those Panzer IVs are basically still at full health. MrYippeeKiYay is in a terrible position right now.
He's got the, still has his engine at least. So, he might go for some super run around. He can afford a new set of T-34-85s, correct me if I'm wrong. Light
and there they are,
barrage
hitting the
coming in
field now.
somewhere. Don't see. Oh! Right on these conscripts as they try to retake their cutoff.
He's actually moving a lone combat engineer up around this house to repair his T-34, but that's going to be repairing for the rest of the game.
Yeah, rest of the war. Doesn't he have crew self-repair in this commander?
Yes, he does, actually. 30 munitions to activate, but it cuts your munitions income in half for as long as it's active, so maybe he doesn't feel that it's a worthy expenditure. Going in hard on the Panzer IVs here. Mark vehicle also going out. Oh, P4 goes down as the T-34 also goes down.
Yeah, he needs to get the thing out of range. I mean, he's now just stuck between two packs, and the remaining P4 out of control. That was not.
Yeah, there he goes.
Long-lived.
He's giving those packs way too much veterancy. Vet 2 on one, Vet 3 on the other, and that's terrible. It's really hard for him to deal with.
Not good for your health. Mortar's now moving up into position to capture the cutoff point. Now we have some guards trying to sneak up on all of these packs and well, at the half track. Man, this half track's been alive, you know, and getting in work the whole game. It actually is up to Vet 1 with 2 kills.
Yeah, he's positioning it really well.
Yeah, some real old school play from Brian. I mean, I feel like I'm watching, you know, the early retail of the game right after it came out over a year ago. One of the T-34-85s is nearly full health, and the other one is, yeah, it's going to be doing that for a while. So
I'm really kind of surprised that Brian hasn't gone hunting for that.
Yeah.
He must have thought that it just got away or something. I guess he just doesn't know where it is, and he's just giving up the chase.
It seems unlikely that he would have forgotten about it, but now one of the T-34-85s is back up to full health, and the other one has still got a long way to go. Let's see if these combat engineers are going to go help him out. He could move that back to friendly territory. Or maybe he'll come up and do some kind of sneaky from the back attack. But the Pioneers are about to discover it, and they can see it right now. We'll see if the P4 changes its see if the P4 changes direction. Yeah.
Combat engineers just got killed up in the north by some Pioneers while they were repairing.
Oh,
so now he's ceased
I didn't see that happen. Oh man. And now the P4 is coming after him. He knows it's up there, and MrYippeeKiYay is not moving it.
MrYippeeKiYay's mortar is now vet 3, even though it only has 12 kills. It's currently barraging that machine gun in the house. It's probably going to want to get that out of there. We also have pretty heavy garrison of penals and conscripts in that strategic point house down there as well.
Yeah, I mean, just to provide line of sight, I suppose. But the T-3485 is trying to make its escape. It's in range of the pack, but Brian must not see it now. It's just out of range. Yes, this machine gun seems to have been forgotten about, and it will probably go down to this mortar shot. Loses another man, and now the penal battalion is coming in to seal the deal.
Soviet players done a really good job of controlling the munitions and the cutoffs this game, but he unfortunately hasn't been doing nearly as well on victory points, and for the game is really running long. Brian still has 392 victory points, and if the Soviet doesn't start to prioritize VPs a little more, he's just gonna get harder and harder, especially if he can't keep his T-34s alive while he's vetting up these packs.
Yeah, it's been not the most spectacular T-3485, used some bad facing and questionable engagements. Oh god, where are these penal battalions going? Looks like they're trying to solo the entire army by charging in the middle, but they actually dropped their flamethrower. And they're about to go down.
He's not paying attention to that squad. Finally it retreats, but it's just way too late. Ooh, nice grenade, yeah, very nice grenade. DP. Oh, he could have wiped that squad if he just. Oh, actually, it was down to 2 men, and they both have PTRSs out, so he would have needed a really lucky snipe to finish that squad off.
Always annoying when that happens. So there's finally a Zis gun from MrYippeeKiYay. Realize, like, okay, I can't stall out for another set of T-3485s by the time I do that. Like,
speaking of which, his T-34 in the north somehow managed to sneak out and make it all the way back to his base.
Yes. I think it even took a couple pot shots on a squad that was trying to capture the on a squad that's trying to capture the victory points up at the top. Mortar's barraging the pack, but it's going to be working on that for a while, I believe.
Penals are trying to pull off some kind of flanking maneuver, but it doesn't go very well for them, and they're going to be forced away, taking nasty damage on retreat.
Yeah, oh. Surely going to take another casualty or two to these G43 friends. Ooh! They themselves are also getting hit by the T-3485 on the cutoff. So, map control swung pretty decisively in favor of Brian, and he's getting himself another P4 right now. Oh, nice assist barrage!
Nice, very nice barrage.
Oh my god!
Oh, another squad wipe. I think this is a bit of a mistake by Brian. Really, he needs to get clear of that blast radius before everything dies.
If he totally destroys that pack, then oh man, even the mortar is getting its licks in.
That's true. I would be hesitant to repair that P4 right there on our mortar fire.
Yeah, really.
We should probably back up a little bit. If new set of T-34s hits the field now, I think Brian's not quite going to have enough to fend it off. Just one pack and one P4.
MrYippeeKiYay's got his 2 T-3485s. If he had pushed during that barrage, he would have had a great opportunity to kill the P4 that's there and overwhelm the infantry. Because there's nothing with any kind of there's no grenadiers around it, no snares. But yeah, that train has sailed, and now the more squads and the new P4 are coming up into the middle of the map. So Brian is very lucky in a way to not have gotten pushed like that. So now we got guards with a flamethrower in the middle.
We finally see merge being used on those guards as well. If you take a look, there's only one guard in that whole squad. The rest of them are all conscripts.
Ooh, full retreat forced by the T-3485s. If they keep going, they may find this P4. The P4s are split up right now, and one of them is away from the pack, so very vulnerable to the
oh, that pack just positioned itself kind of poorly. If those T-3485s rush it, I think it could get cleared.
Oh man,
being so conservative with his tanks.
The AT is now definitely in favor of MrYippeeKiYay. He's stolen a pack. He's got his Zis gun.
Oh, devastating series of shots. The half track immediately gets taken out, and one P4 is at well below half. A lot of shots penetrating. One more volley could do it. Oh, he's pulling back. Why?
Back. Yeah, this is the time to push.
He needs to go in on that. What is he thinking?
I mean, I don't know. He could be thinking there's a teller mine around there somewhere, but even if it was, I think he'd still be able to catch that P4. It's just going to escape and get back to base.
YippeeKiYay's judgment has been so off this game. He dives in when he stands no chance, and then he pulls back when he could easily crush his opponent.
Yeah, this is a good time for another Zis barrage if he can lay it in where these support weapons are hanging out, and maybe we're going to see that right now.
I don't think he has sight range.
He doesn't have the munitions for it either. It is too bad. But he's about to have his opponent triple capped, and he's definitely taking the map back.
He has definitely got a bit of a resource advantage now too. He just lost a penal squad, so that he was pop capped, but now that he lost that penal squad, we will see a new set of T-34s being called in. And 4 T-34s is way too much for Brian to contend with right now. There's no way he could stop an all-in push if YippeeKiYay chooses to do so.
He's getting himself a 3rd Panzer IV, which, I mean, I think, you know, one of his P4s is getting double repaired right now, so it will be back up in good shape pretty soon, but against all of these AT guns and all of these T-34-85s, I mean, this is going to be... it's going to be a challenge.
It's going to be hard for him to outproduce his opponent now that he's let one of his packs get stolen. That's really the main thing.
Yeah. Yeah, the T-34-85s are going to be able to retreat back behind the AT gun wall if they feel threatened, and there's not really a whole lot that YippeeKiYay is going to be able to do about it.
I'm really surprised he doesn't just charge with this massive army of tanks. He's just sitting there.
Yeah, now really is
get in there and throw his weight around.
That said, I mean, he has the advantage. He's got all 3 victory points. Brian has to come to him. I mean, he could charge in and try to break the back of Brian's army, but at the same time, he doesn't have to.
That's true.
Our first little foray here in the middle, perhaps.
The more time he gives Brian to set up a wall of packs and recollect his armor and repair and just organize himself, the harder it's going to be for him to deal with later on. And if you can kind of catch your opponent out of position and just totally shut him down when you have the chance to do so, you totally should.
That's you know, it's too bad that Brian doesn't have more munitions. I'd actually like to see a Stuka anti-tank strafe at some point. I mean, with all of these you know, medium tanks around, it might actually be useful for once.
And I think it's actually much better in this doctrine that Brian has chosen than it is in close air support doctrine, because the plane will actually loiter and track, whereas the close air support version just fires where you click. It doesn't track its target at all.
Huh. I didn't know that. I've always just thought it was kind of useless no matter how you chose to use it.
I think it's probably also not that great against T-34-85s. They're pretty much one of the tankiest medium tanks in the game, whereas against Shermans, it'll almost pop it like a balloon.
Yes. Brian's getting himself a Stug now as well, which...
interesting choice.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. I don't know why he's getting a Stug. It's not particularly great at anti-tank anymore. Well,
I kind of disagree. The fact that it has target weak point can be very decisive in engagements, and it has long range, good accuracy, and penetration, so it's pretty good. It's cheap is the main thing, and when it's sort of a battle of economies more so than anything else, which this definitely is, I think it can be a good choice. As long as you can keep it behind his other armor, keep it alive, and doesn't let it get flanked. That should be what matters most.
Tactical movement. Why? Why not? Yes. Well, we'll soon find out how well the Stug fares against the T-34-85. We've got charging infantry squads moving up. And oh my god, marked
devastating damage. Marked vehicle going in. I think that Panzer IV is doomed. We also have the T-34s in the north moving down to support this battle. Vet 2 on both of these tanks here in the middle. Oh, every shot from those Panzer IVs is just missing, but a massive wave of Axis tanks is on its way.
Oh my god, now they're getting flanked as well. AT grenades going in.
Going off, very nice on that Stug. Just too many Soviet tanks, I think, for him to deal with. And that T-34 is gonna get clear, even though it was so low. And an abandoned P4. Oh no!
Wow. That
Oh no.
that is about as bad as an engagement can go for you right there.
That was terrible.
MrYippeeKiYay lost nothing, and Brian's army just collapsed. It went from about he went from about 95 pop cap to now he's got 29, and everything is in full retreat. And I mean, he could lose his base at this point.
I see GG's being exchanged. And I guess that's gonna wrap up the game.
Yes. Well, yeah, I don't see any coming back from that one.
I think that engagement was really decided by the use of anti-tank guns. Brian's packs were not all that well positioned at multiple points of this game. Allowed one to get stolen, whereas actually during that engagement, I don't know if you noticed, but the Soviet AT gun was firing pretty much the entire time.
Yeah, it was. It did quite a lot of damage. And let's see
It's vet 2 now.
Yes, one vehicle kill and a whole bunch of damage dealt.
And I think that was just very nice tank micro from MrYippeeKiYay in that decisive engagement. Managed to get his low health T-34 all the way into the back. And just, man, I think Brian just got a little overly aggressive there. He really needed the T-34s to charge into him, not the other way around.
Yes, he managed, and MrYippeeKiYay managed to kind of, fade back as the attack was going on. And then once Brian was deep in, he was able to come around past the church and catch all the tanks from the back. So yeah, that was a pretty beautiful engagement. And that's it. Romeo, where art thou?
It's wherefore art thou actually.
All right, whatever. Yeah, not my favorite Shakespeare play, but that's fine. So, that was, yesterday I cast a game, between you and Von Ivan, and in that I said that I'd hoped that we would be able to do a cast together, and here we are, the very next day, doing that.
Yeah, I loved that cast, by the way. Thank you very much for it.
Yes, well, happy to oblige, and when they're good games, it's certainly a lot easier.
All right, well, thank you very much for having me.
Yes, I guess it's about 3 o'clock in the morning now, and I think you said that you need to go to work, so yeah, good luck with that. I'm gonna get started on my day here. And
all right.
And to any viewers of this video, you should go check out Romeo's channel and perhaps consider subscribing. I'm sure after you watch 1 or 2 of his casts that you will want to do that. And you were telling me about something prior to this cast occurring this coming weekend. I don't know if you want to mention that right now.
I'd be happy to. I'm hosting a tournament. It's called the Star Crossed Cup. It's going to be a 2v2 tournament, and the prize for the winners, I'm going to gift copies of the upcoming single-player campaign, Ardennes Assault. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, then feel free to sign up. There's going to be a news post on COH2.org. It'll probably already be on the site by the time you see this cast.
So yeah, keep an eye out for that, and there will be casts coming out of that. So also watch those. Watch all the usual information portals. I'm sure those will be spammed accordingly. And that'll be it for us. Bye-bye, folks.